Previous to my past 6 weeks of learning and research in classroom design and design for learning spaces, I considered classroom design to consist of anchor charts, bulletin boards, student work, and funny posters. After all, this is what we see in the common American classroom, right? But how are these decorations contributing to instruction? If we can't answer that question, then maybe the answer is they're not contributing to instruction. So to find answers for this and to really think bigger about what classroom design is, I made this the topic of my 20-time project for the summer. I'm starting a new teaching assignment at Health Sciences High Middle College, and I was really inspired by the innovative learning spaces these teachers are imagining. They're really thinking bigger. So to think that this is possibly available to me, whether this year or in the future, was an opportunity to expand my imagination. And I really didn't know where to start. I feel like I've been stifled by the traditional learning environment for so long that I didn't know where to start. So the week one of my 20-time project was really just trying to imagine and be inspired. And once I claimed this as my topic, my eyes were open to so many things. My entire summer has been revolving around stopping and taking pictures of everything I see in my environment. So let me show you what other teachers are doing. This is a teacher at Health Sciences that has converted this entire room by building benches and implementing a standing desk area in the back so that students can have different places to stand based on their needs. This is a teacher that I filmed in National City, and I thought she did a great job of trying to make different spaces for the students to be comfortable, and also teaching them how to have social behaviors. And this is something that I really feel we need to implement in schools, teaching more than the content, but how does my body feel? These are things even high schoolers need. This is another class at Health Sciences. I think this is a really creative way to make engagement between the students and the teachers by having a Scrabble game going on simultaneously just in the classroom. Also, the opportunity to paint the walls is something that's available to me, and maybe instead of a traditional whiteboard, painting the whiteboard on the wall. I'm a big proponent of organization to make my classroom just run like clockwork. Really want to promote autonomy, so I feel like if I can make some organizational systems, that will help the students understand what's expected of them and know what to do without asking me. So I dove into some research and I looked at what some of the classrooms are doing overseas, and I found a case study by some folks from the UK that just really surprised me. I didn't realize how important just the light and the air temperature and the air quality is in classrooms, and above all, that's what made the difference for instruction and for learning. So that's where we really need to concentrate. And I think that's a big problem in our classrooms. In my own educational experience, I remember being really cold in all of my classrooms because the air conditioning was too high and not being able to learn. I don't remember what was on the wall. So I think that's really where we need to focus. But I found multiple research that says creating a place that is flexible. You want to be able to adapt your classroom to whatever your lesson needs. Based on your objectives for that lesson, what's going to suit that day the best. So finding ways to make the classroom flexible is a big, big priority. Also, students need to have some ownership. So an idea I have is to include the students in the design and create a class mural on the wall of a nature scene so that we can bring in some inspiration and some nature into our class. Spend a lot of time looking at colors, trying to take this research and go one step further. So here is some research I found about colors. I looked into color psychology, And overall, it looks like green and blue are really the colors that are best for students. Some things that I saw were talking about how green is a great color because it does not cause eye fatigue. It's a color we see in our world, in nature, and we're used to that, and our eyes have adapted. So I've decided to paint my room with blues and greens, and I think that will be soothing, and I think they'll bring in some nature feel, and I'm hoping it will look really good. Before, this classroom had mismatched desks, different chairs. The furniture was just kind of thrown about. It didn't fit the walls properly. So I was lucky enough to get brand new tables that are a great size. It's really open to the room. Students have told me that they feel like it's more spacious. They feel like you can walk around and there's room for movement. I wanted to create different areas so I can be flexible, so I can move groups of students towards the front or have students work individually in the back, depending on our lesson. There's been a lot of constraints. Of course, I'm a new teacher coming in here, so I don't want to be too demanding. I am spending some of my own money on this, and I don't have very much to spend. We have very large class sizes. I'm expecting 40 kids on the first day of school, so trying to accommodate all that in one of the smallest rooms on campus has been really tough. There's also not a lot of natural light, so I need to bring in some alternative lighting. I've been asking for what supplies might be around. Found a brand new teacher podium that is really nice, and it has drawers that lock so I can put my supplies in. It's on wheels so I can put it anywhere in the class. I don't always have to be at the front. And I can put my new document camera and my projector on there as well. I want to create different areas for students, and so I went shopping and I found some things to make a sitting area for students. I want to incorporate a lot of projects, and so something that I want this space to be is a comfortable place for students to meet with their project partners and brainstorm ideas. To put it closest to the window, I'm going to put up some curtains and make an idea table. Putting a little coffee table in the middle and getting some really comfortable beanbag chairs or butterfly chairs that are colorful. I also brought in my my portable fireplace that is a heater so that my classroom won't be so cold and that the students can feel comfortable. The fluorescent lights are really harsh and they're creating a glare on the whiteboards. So especially because the research indicates that fluorescent lights are really terrible, and there's actually clinical conditions that a lot of students have and don't really know about, where the fluorescent lights are creating headaches, and it's really just not good for a learning environment. So I've done some research and trying to create a cheap way to soften the lights. So I'm looking at draping some fabric over them. Because I'm in the process of executing all of these great ideas and trying to put the research into action, I've created a visual layout of my room. So I'm accommodating 40 students, but I'm going to break students up into different areas. I have the front. This is my teacher desk area, where I can be productive. I've organized my desk, even feng shuied my area so that it's very clean and organized. So I have my own lights and some plants, and then a bookcase with all of my materials. I found some cabinets that I'm going to hang on the wall, and then I can with whiteboard markers, I can show when students walk in what we're going to do today, how we're going to do it, what you're going to be able to walk away with. I'm also going to put in a lot of organizational items and put expectations on the wall for every area of the room. so that students know exactly what is expected of them. So this area would be a round table where I'm planning on having creative activities, such as having a puzzle going on or having a makerspace. And I'm going to take this wall and take off the bookcase and the whiteboard, and I'm going to put a paint by number mural on the wall, and then all of the students will have a different colored paint, and they'll be in charge of painting for their number. Here's a little before and after, trying to illustrate some of the changes that I've made. I have some restrictions because I need help from some of the staff members, and they have been gone this summer. So I am working to execute some of the smaller items, but then trying to make a schedule and plan for others to help me. Let me bring you back to the full room layout. So I'm trying to create different areas so that students are always moving. I'm going to have 16 seats towards the front where the whiteboards are so that students can do small group instruction with me, and then easels so that this group of 8 can turn around and work on a task and then present, and this group can do the same. When students come in, all the supplies are going to be available for them and with their expectations for the day. Then we're going to have a creative space to the right and a brainstorming area to the left. Then the 20 seats in the back, this is for students to be working as groups of 4. Or I also have 20 iPads in the classroom, so these 20 students could also be working on some of our computer-aided software programs. They'll all have organizational tubs next to their desks so that they don't need to get up for anything. That way they know their expectation is you're here in this area of the room, and this is what's expected of you when you move to another area of the room when we change up groups. So I have a lot of work of executing, but I feel really confident that my research has really expanded my idea of what classroom design is and how this can impact instruction. And I think it's going to be the best year yet.